In my first term as mayor, we've passed 2 large housing action packages intended to help increase the amount of housing that's being built, particularly for working and middle-class families. And we have more work to do.
I meet Mayor Todd Gloria in North Park, across the street from a recently opened apartment building. This neighborhood is dotted with housing developments under construction. He says to make San Diego more affordable, the city needs a lot more housing. And he says the growth happening in North Park is thanks to the zoning changes he championed as a city council member 8 years ago.
It shows you how slow this process can be and why consistent, steady leadership is really necessary to make sure that the promises of these plans and the ideas behind them actually result in what we were hoping for, which is more housing that's attainable for working and middle-class people.
On homelessness, Gloria says he's added more shelter beds and 2 safe campsites on the outskirts of Balboa Park. And he says the camping ban he passed with the city council is helping keep tents off the sidewalks.
It's a balancing act. It's amongst the most difficult work that I have to do, but we're committed to doing this work, and our success in growing our offerings means that there are thousands of people who are not on the sidewalk today who would have been absent these efforts.
And I'm running for mayor because we need change. I recently became a mother. I have a 14-month-old toddler, and it is just getting increasingly harder to survive in San Diego.
Genevieve Jones-Wright is an attorney and one of Gloria's opponents. After running unsuccessfully for district attorney in 2018, she founded a nonprofit that files public interest lawsuits. She says Gloria's camping ban and a similar prohibition on living in cars are not helping the homelessness crisis.
I think what the city has done is it has moved people from one part of the city out of eyesight and onto asphalt and parking lots, and that is not a solution. We absolutely need to create more opportunities for shelter, but I also have to remind everyone that shelter beds and even tents on the street are not housing.
Jones-Wright agrees the city needs more housing, and she says stricter regulations on short-term home rentals would help deliver it.
We have so many homes and apartments that remain vacant for most of the year because they're short-term rental properties. And we have not had the political will to actually get a handle on that situation. That will free up a lot of housing.
We're going to start filling the convention center, all the hotels will be full, all the cafes will be full, and everyone's just going to be making a little bit more money.
Larry Turner is a Marine Corps veteran and San Diego police officer.
I just really see that our city is not the safe city that it should be. It's not the clean city it should be. It's not as compassionate as it should be for those that are living on the street.
I meet Turner outside the H Barracks, a former police and fire department training facility near the airport that Mayor Gloria wants to convert into a new homeless shelter for up to 700 people. Turner opposes that plan.
And I would go to the fact that it's only going to be around for a few years. I want to see something more permanent. And I don't want to give the people who have done a bad job for 3 years on this the opportunity to use some emergency powers to push something through really quick.
Turner declined to name a specific location where he'd prefer a new shelter, but he said there are lots of other options.
The city owns a lot of land, and the city can buy more land too. So there are plenty of places that we can look at. And I've talked to some folks who used to work in the real estate office for the city, and we've talked about a lot of these places throughout the city.
2 additional candidates on the ballot, Jane Glasson and Dan Smiechowski, haven't raised significant funds and have a limited campaign presence. The top 2 vote getters in the March 5th primary will compete in a runoff on November 5th. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.